that we get. I'm really only wants to make a brighter, me only wants to make a better, me only wants to make Anambra shine. With our strength and love, every breath of our lives, we trust in God.
Togetherness will build a line of progress. Live the spirit of Anambra. Live the spirit of Anambra. Live the spirit of Anambra. Stays with us.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to bring on board my Oga at the top. Because only my Oga at the top that knows our website. My Oga at the top. Yes. What is the website? www. That's all. Oga at the top. That is to say, all the way in Anambra Broadcasting Service, the man with so many voices, my direct Oga. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome. I'm speaking on behalf now here. Mr. Don Onyechi, let's make welcome to him. Put your hands together for the citation. Because if my principal secretary is clapping, I wonder why normal people will not be clapping. What type of this? After all, I'll bring here. A man from the roots, a man created to be somebody, beyond the realm, across board, and up there, across the high seas, kind of missing and yet landed, and is now very visible globally. Standing before all of us here is a well-bred man, son of the soil, an Igbo man to the core. Rudolf Ogo Okonkwo, a Nigerian journalist and writer. He has a bachelor's degree in engineering from the Federal University of Technology, Akure, Ondo State, Nigeria, and an MFA in professional and creative writing from Western Connecticut State University, Anambra, USA. Standing tall before all of us here is the author of a book of essays, Children of a Retired God. A chapter of this memoir, Because I'm My Father's, Because I'm My Grandfather, Because I am my grandfather, was a finalist in the 2010 John Beyond Library Non-Fiction Prize competition. His short story, The Butcher, The Surgeon and Me, was a finalist in Glimmer Train's 2009 Open Fiction competition. He just finished work on his first novel, Death on Mountain Transport. Rudolf hosts the Dr. Damages show on Sahara TV and writes a weekly column. Correct me if I'm right, for SaharaReporters.com. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Dr. Damages. Oh yes, live. Dr. Damages show is a weekly 30-minute Nigerian satirical television program airing each Saturday on Sahara Television, Sahara TV. It started 5 years ago and is now on its 245th episode. Dr. Damage's show is focused on politics and all the news worth lampooning from headlines across the world. The show opens with a guest introducing Dr. Damages. Correct. A monologue from Dr. Damages follows. It is delivered behind the green screen and in front of the studio audience. The monologue is structured in a way that its first story comes from New York City, where it is produced, and then it goes to a story from the wider American scene. From America, it takes on the major stories playing on the world stage that week. Then it goes on to pick on African stories, and finally zeroes in on Nigeria. The purpose of this format is to present the universality of the malady confronting people all over the world over their problems, that Africans can too. Other segments of the program are a humorous and sarcastic take on the headlines under the caption "Stories Making Headlines Across Nigeria." That is a segment called Secrets of Pictures. It spotlights unique stories and describes an aspect of each picture that may not be obvious at first look. The email segment gives viewers opportunity to have their say on to get their questions answered by the host. A nurse reads the email. Dr. Damage's most famous nurse is the Reverend Tomato Jones. In closing, the host gives out his concern for the day, which is a nugget that is partly wise and partly humorous. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Dr. Damage's live here. Quintessential Dr. Damages, simplicity.
Let me sit on existing protocols, the way it's said. I wanted to say before I start, what Don did, I was looking for who he was talking about.
John, who did it? Yes. Okay. That was the last movie I watched before I left the country. And I didn't forget something that happened there. You know the story of Andy trying to be rich like Polo. And Polo was telling him, you know, are you sure you can do what it takes? He said yes, everything. And during the process, he got to a point where he was told, okay, now you have to sacrifice your wife. And Polo went home and was thinking about it and said, Andy, he said, Polo across from me for So I went to America like Andy. And the people I knew who lived in America before me, they have was from everything. So this book is about, it tried to cover these things of math for other people who might want to go. It's not for you not to go. But I want to do something I don't normally do when I'm doing reading. I'll read for you, don't worry. But let's do this. It will tie into what I'm saying. And I hope all of you know that it's in Igbo. It's called Waninga. When I was in America, I taught it to my class. And when I go to teach anywhere in school, I teach white people how to sing the song. I have an English translation of it. I discovered that it's the first rap song ever composed. It was composed 2,000 years ago before Christ. So let's do it together so that you warm up. Some of you will warm up and we'll get into this. So let me stand up. Waninga, gili melo waninga, no kwati ulu waninga, Nwaninga o nwaninga, gịnị mere ụkwa ahụ na-akpọ mọwalụkwa n'ụkwa tigburu nwaninga? Nwaninga o nwaninga, gịnị mere mkpa ahụ na-akpọ mọwalụkwa n'ụkwa tigburu nwaninga? Nwaninga o nwaninga, gịnị mere akịka ahụ na ọkụkọtara akịka na akịkatara mkpọ na mkpọ mọwalụkwa n'ụkwa tigburu nwaninga? Nwaninga o nwaninga, gịnị mere akịka ahụ egbe ego ọkụkọ na ọkụkọtara akịka na akịkatara mkpọ na mkpọ mọwalụkwa n'ụkwa tigburu nwaninga? Nwaninga o nwaninga, gịnị mere egbe ahụ n'ụzọ gbajiri egbe na egbe maọbụ egbe na egbe bụ ọkụkọ na ọkụkọtara akịka na akịkatara mkpọ na mkpọ mọwalụkwa n'ụkwa tigburu nwaninga? Nwaninga o nwaninga, gịnị mere ụzọ ahụ na Chukwu kpọrọ ụzọ na ụzọ gbajiri egbe na egbe maọbụ egbe na egbe bụ ọkụkọ na ọkụkọtara akịka na akịkatara mkpọ na mkpọ mọwalụkwa n'ụkwa tigburu nwaninga? Nwaninga o nwaninga. One of my projects in the next year is to go to prison and visit those men, most of them are Igbo people, who kill their wives. So when it was a serious issue, I wrote this essay called Just Before You Kill Your Wife. So bear with me, my voice and everything, but I'll read it, and then when we have conversations, we can also talk about these things. All right. If you have the book and you want to follow, it's on page 33. Just before you kill your wife. There are so many reasons to kill your wife. A wife, any wife. I did this even before I got married. So I'm not going to debate with you after 5 years of marriage. If I want, I can call you stupid. Stupid for ignoring the warning written on the Gongoro 911 lorry behind the Onishan Soka road that says, fear women. You did not fear women. You stubbornly went ahead and got married. I wanted to say, no, but I didn't, because what I intend to say here is serious, and I do not want to lose you. So let's jump to the reasons why you may need to kill your wife. She makes more money than you do. Okay. It's not really the higher earning power that pisses you off. It is the spending. She does not hand the paycheck to you so that you decide what it should be spent on. Okay, I know. You don't really want her to hand the money over to you. You are not that kind of a bushman. In fact, you don't even care what she spends it on. You just don't want her to demean you in the manner that she spends the money. Yes, like putting up a story building in her father's compound when your parents still live in a mud house. After all, you brought her to America and paid her school tuition as well as a mortgage while she studied nursing. You did that by driving a cab. You deserve more respect. She came from a well-to-do family. Yes, the elite high society family. You got to marry her because you live in America. America nullifies status and allows you to cross the social line. You lied to her about what you were doing in America, but you have since resolved that. You thought she only married you just to come to America, but you have had 3 kids, and you have forgotten about that fear. You have begun real estate agent classes, so you will soon be wearing suit and tie. But now, her family is telling her what to do. She's listening to them. They are treating you like trash. Yes, especially that evil mother-in-law. They wouldn't back off from your marriage. Everyone is still mocking you. You brought her to America, and this is the thanks you get. You did not tell me, but I heard it through the wide open grapevine. She's following other men. She did not tell you, that you were not satisfying her in bed, or that you are too old for her. But she's following younger men, some half your age. No, it wasn't the Akata men that made you mad. It was other Nigerian men who now tell everyone that your wife is Mrs. Donatus. It breaks your heart and makes you feel important, even when you know you are not. You have even gone out of your way to buy books and films to help improve your sex life. But it looks like it is too little too late. It doesn't seem like she will come back to you. Didn't I hear you say that she isn't beautiful anymore? You said you needed to find younger women to make you feel young again. But being as stubborn as she is, she won't let you be. She keeps following you around, threatening to divorce you and take you to the cleaners. You have said to her that if it were in Africa, you will have married an additional 3 wives. I hear you. You need to do something to stop her. The nagging, the fighting, and the threat to half of all you worked very hard for. I hear you. The insurance business you have been building for the last 20 years. I heard that the judge awarded her $3,000 in child support money every month. He also gave her and the kids your home. Add that to the $3,000 she makes in a month, and you will see why she has so much money that she throws around with one boyfriend after another. Meanwhile, you make $4,000 a month, and after paying her the money that she squanders, you are left with $1,000. It is not enough to pay the rent in your small apartment. Not enough to begin your life again. Now, she doesn't even want you to have visitation rights. She lies to the judge that you are a threat to your own children. Just like she lied that you make more money than you actually do. It is provocative, I know. She said she went to the university in Nigeria. You brought her here and had hoped to send her to a nursing school. She could not even pass even the CNA class. She has failed nursing entrance exam 4 times. She's so dumb that you often think she needs help crossing the road. She's good at watching TV, that's it. She won't even keep the house clean. She's a liability you need to get rid of as safely as possible. There are so many reasons to kill your wife, a wife, any wife. I bet you can come up with more and more. For now, I want to tell you about an armed robber that I admire so much. He was 63 years old. He walked into a bank and gave the teller a note saying that he was robbing the bank. The teller gave him all the money she had on her station and pressed the red button. The man walked out of the door and handed the money to the bank security guard. He waited for the police to come. They came and arrested him. Upon investigation, it was discovered that earlier in the day, the man had given out all his valuables and had returned his apartment key to his landlord, telling him he would not be coming back. When asked why he did that, what he did, the robber said that he could only get minimum wage jobs and was tired of living hand to mouth. He said he felt it would be better to spend 2 years in prison with free food and free medical care, and by the time he's out, he's qualified to collect social security benefits. That is the robber after my heart. Just before you kill your wife, decide on where you will wait for the police. I don't want to hear that you ran into the bush or you took off in a car with your kids. You embarrass me by that kind of action. You know they will catch you. So why don't you do the honorable thing and act like you are ready for them? So before you kill your wife, pay off what you owe if you get in the east, south, yes, if you watch the trend, including the one for the Igbo house future, so that if you die in prison,
You
they
know,
may send your body back, which is necessary for you to reincarnate.
We at ABS.
Oh, never mind, never mind. For a moment, I forgot that those who committed abomination do not reincarnate. Just before you kill your wife, return the Nigerian movie you borrowed from me. You don't have to pay off your credit card or your car payment, but at least settle the pepper soup woman at our joint. She needs the money to continue to serve our community while you pull off in prison. Just before you kill your wife, remember that it will become official that O.J. Simpson is a descendant of the Igbo if another Igbo man kills his wife in America. Just before you kill your wife, picture your children coming to the gates of the state prison to pick you up after you have served 30 years. Imagine how you will feel when they open the door of that limo and let you in. And I hope you will smile widely when they take a selfie with you and say, "Daddy, thank you for killing Mom." Just before you kill your wife, remember your father had many reasons, good reasons, to kill your mother, but he didn't. Hopefully, you are thankful for that. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll just roll the mic. Now, how would you describe your writing style? I mean, you're a satirist, you know, how would you describe your writing style?
Yeah. I try to, because these days people are really not into reading and writing a lot. I try to make it worth the while of a reader, not just to tell you this is what's happening, but if you can laugh or find a way to reach people, I try to put humor in what I write. You know, it's very important to me.
Okay, let me now come to the audience. Anybody here has a question?
Somehow, I've been wondering, before video sharing actually existed, we know how Sahara report has evolved and what it stood for. But somehow you brought something different. And I've always wanted to ask that question. You came up with the Dr. Damage Escape. And having followed you, I know it has attracted a lot of followers. Was that genre created specifically for you and that platform? Thank you.
So I wanted to do something like that, you know, try to, when people get home, they relax. They now try to recap the news in a very funny way, and it's been very effective because hardcore news, very few people follow it. You know, people are not really, especially most women are not interested in hardcore news. But if you put it in a very funny way, people watch, people want to know what's going on. So I was interested in that for many years, and when they wanted to start Sahara TV, I floated the idea that I want to do Dr. Damage's show.
All right, thank you. Joker here.
If I have not had the benefit of hearing you read, I would not enjoy it this much as I have enjoyed it. You gave me an added dose. I see you as a satirist with a very good gift of wit, W-I-T. However, I am, even from the tone of your reading and from your lines, I want to know who you want to entertain. Who do you seek to entertain? The reader or yourself? Two, I also tend to feel you are mocking. You are not just entertaining with the character. You hide behind the gloves. You hide behind the shadow of the characters you present and mock either yourself or some larger values that they represent. Am I right or wrong?
No, you're right. And it's society, that impression. People carry it and books that pastors wrote, but they are not reading anything else. There was a cousin of mine, I sent him my book. He said, you know I'm a pastor now, I don't read all these kind of books. And this okay, he has a PhD, but there's a doctor. I sent a copy of this book to him. There's a story in this book about the life of a doctor who was approaching retirement and he was worried about what to do. And I thought he could, you know, he may like it. Yeah. And he said to me, you know, I haven't read in a long since I left medical school. And I don't read. Can you tell me what it's about? So people are reading, but they are not reading this kind of books. Another example to show you that people are reading is when you think about a writer like Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. People are reading her all over the world, and she's selling thousands and thousands of copies. So people read. The issue is that the state of the country today, and we are evolving a society too. You know, we're more of people who are watching things, who are using social media. People are reading on social media. They are not reading physical book as the way it was in the 80s when I was growing up. I read all the pesetas, I read all the African writers' series. Maybe because we didn't have videos to watch, maybe because we didn't have Facebook or Twitter, I don't know. But it's maybe part of the society where we are as a country, how people are, the hardship, that may be part of it. But I think there's a cultural change, and it doesn't help any industry when people don't read, including the pastors who will produce quality scripts for them. It will be wonderful.
Sacramento, why you going to invite everybody to come forth? I think it's high table day.
I don't say that.
Okay. I want to know the Greek come now. Nigerians, you want to invite them to come front, you need put drink, put things. Before you introduce the person, you go wrong, come. Right, they come to the front. If you look, I prefer here. Nigeria. You know, this country, and the way in Nigeria take the time people now. But look at them, come Nigeria, people, they snap. Even president, snap, selfie. Almost celebrity hard though. He come Nigeria, they snap. All these big men who know, e-money everywhere, I hear it, they hide. They hide now, e-money they on the channel. Because like e-money say, no, F-money is around. You know, in Nigeria, everybody like to, every small Mazuga will get 6th richest man in the world in Nigeria. They will carry the whole Lagos with leg, polo, pass the pass. Simple. 50-something billion.
54.1 million.
Confirm. You want to go Sabia? You don't know how people they pay for it. Nigeria. If you see a poor man, they tell you how much they pay me care. You go tell you how much they buy from you. Don't punish poverty. The guy they work out, as you get money rich, they work out even like they take selfie, people they snap it down. Even people will know when in the past then snap up. Thank God for take no phone. No. When if they move then snap, you catch. But then chilling with my who they cheap. One get right for DP. It's my birthday. Thank you, Mark, for coming. Now me call out for going. Thank yourself. Even Nigerians take the life. I see the book now. Like American life, sir. Americans they get easy life. If you like Oyibo will believe you with ease. Anything you tell Oyibo, they believe. Now why is this all this your voice they just play? Tell Oyibo woman, I love you from my heart. She will believe her. They know the Nigeria. You go buy something for your wife they suspect you. Nigerian women are the only people who sometimes they have to please them. Man, we don't marry wife, we get one car. Buy another car, give him wife. The wife say, eh. So you want private bar? Only one car, when they get, buy another one, give him wife. The wife begin complain, say, no, we'll be using this one together, so I will know who and who will enter this car. Nigeria. See you people that like, what guy we don't hustle for you boy don't hustle, no, we like climb skyscraper one day, begin to chop. I need $1 million, else I'm going to jump and die. See everybody begin gather, they take the boat. Please, Mark, please, don't jump, just calm down. The guy still at the door. 3 hours, in fact 30 minutes from now, if I don't get $1 million, I'm going to jump and die. So they carry the person, all those police, everybody begin to beg the guy. They beg him. See the guy come down, they don't touch him, they don't beat him, they carry $500,000, give the guy. One Nigerian guy, he had it. from US, so we hear they say, now fly plane. Land Nigeria, first land Lagos Airport. You know that Lagos Airport, you get the place where cars they go park. The guy go there, climb for us and begin speak broken. If I not give me 200,000 naira, I go jump from here and I go die. Nigerians say they pass the guy. The guy come to say, he come like say nobody dey hear, and the guy dey give a shout, 200,000 or I die. Yeah, they should sing for this. Look at you go. When the guy got to police, when escort one top man, they come, and the guy begin shout, 200,000, if not, I will jump and die. Now police back, oh God, if you no jump, we'll shoot you down.
Well, this is a very beautiful evening. This is the second time we have done this kind of thing since I have in this government. We have featured Okendibe here in Habila. It was a very beautiful literary evening. Sometime in December 2014. This is the second of reading. Everyone that is truthful would admit that prior to this government, I wonder whether this kind of thing had ever happened. This is one aspect of governance that is not available to leaders that do not have the wherewithal, the intellectual wherewithal. Building a society that has potential but had never had a good direction. It is good to build roads and bridges, and put lines and all sorts. But when the roads are treaded by people whose minds are warped, scattered psychology, people without value, the society will have roads, but they will be inhabited by people who are animals. So the soft aspect of governance is this kind of thing that we are doing, or begin to organize events that liberate the mind. Organize events where the fruits of the mind are served. I end the sentence there, but they must be complete and perfect. This we are doing here, it's part of the revolution. I listened to Rudolf read, beautifully written, where there's going to be comma, there's comma, and he punctuated and we have meaning. Therefore, I enjoy everyone who is here to be an apostle of this revolution to perfection. It's a very important philosophy in learning. And I leave you with a good will and a consent and the commitment, the hope that our governor gives to all parts of the good governance idea in building the heart and in building the soul. Thank you very much, and may God bless you.
I
Give me back.